Thank you. Paki-explain nga sa maikling pananalita, ano ba talagang importansya nitong bill na ito na reorganization ng functions ng PNP chief? Kasi halimbawa, nakalagay dito na the PNP chief, this will have the power to designate and assign PNP officers in various key positions. Ang tanong ko, hindi ba nila nagagawa itong sa ngayon?
Well, sa ngayon, Mr. President, the present system is which this representation is intending to remain status quo. The present situation, Mr. President, is that for the case of Chief of Police, the provincial director will give a list of 5 recommendations to the mayor. And the mayor will choose from among the 5 kung sino yung napupusuan niya, tatanggapin niya. At yun ang issue ng order ng provincial director na magiging chief of police. In the case of the provincial director, the regional director will give a list of 3 nominees to the governor, provincial governor. And the governor will choose from among the 3 nominees kung sino gusto niya maging provincial director. And kung sino yun ang issue ng order ng regional director na magiging provincial director na. So, kailangan talagang concurrence ng local chief executive as far as the selection of the chief of police and the provincial director.
So, sa ngayon, ang PNP chief ay hindi nakakapag-appoint sa lugar ng chief of police.
He can just recommend, Mr. President, your honor, to the local chief executive. Sila pipili kung sinong gusto nila.
So, dito sa bill na to, yung PNP chief na ang mag-a-appoint sa bawat lugar.
Supposedly, Mr. President, your honor, but I am going to amend that particular provision because some of our colleagues are hesitant about that provision.
So, what will be the amendment? You'll take that?
We'll strike that
provision
off, Mr. President, your honor.
So
We'll
may-
remove totally.
Okay, will you be able to articulate why you think some of our colleagues are against this? Because I feel that, let's say in an area, kunyari meron isang local government head, governor man or mayor na matagal na dun sa lugar na yon, tapos gusto niya kontrolado yung lugar na yon, tapos siya pa yung pipili ng pulis, doon nagiging politicized, di ba?
Well, I agree with you, Mr. President, your honor. That is why I included that in this measure. Because of the results of our investigation, may committee investigation on yung nangyari sa Negros Oriental, yung inambos na vice mayor doon sa Apari, Cagayan, and yung nangyari sa Misamis Occidental, isa talaga yan sa root cause of those problems, Mr. President, your honor. Kaya, and myself also, I really feel strongly against that particular provision, yung pagpili ng politiko. Dahil, ang nangyari nga, nawawala yung professionalism ng PNP. Ako, gusto ko ngayon mag-chief of police. Hindi ako magsumikap, magtrabaho ngayon. Magdikit-dikit na ako sa politiko. Kung ikaw ay mayor, kaibiganin na kita, sipsipin kita, then pagdating sa panahon na pipilian, ako pipiliin mo dahil sip-sip ako sa iyo. Ganun talaga mangyayari dyan.
Sip-sip lang, huwag naman sip-sipin.
Sorry for my Visayan Tagalog, Mr. President. Visayan Tagalog, Mr. President. magsisip-sip ako sa'yo, ako ngayon pipiliin mo kahit na walang kwentang opisyal ako. Samantalang yung isang opisyal na talagang hardworking, very professional, ayaw lumapit sa politiko, ayaw magsip-sip sa politiko. Pagpili ngayon, hindi siya magiging chief of police dahil hindi man siya sumipsip sa politiko. Hindi
Okay.
siya kilala.
Kaya nga po, maybe I would suggest to retain this, but maybe just have a
Thank you
clear
for that. Thank you
criteria.
for that. The mere intention of you to have this particular provision written is very satisfying on the part of the sponsor, Your Honor.
Kasi
Mr.
ayaw
President.
naman natin nagsisip-sipan lang, di ba? Para magpagkaroon.
Ganun talaga nangyayari.
So,
Ganun talaga nangyayari.
Mr. President, siguro lang, dapat may criteria na how can you qualify to be, let's say, appointed. Di ba? Para hindi naman subjective lang and discretion of the, kasi pwede rin yung doon ka na lang pumapel sa PNP chief para ma-appoint ka. So, siguro dapat merong mga nakalagay na ito yung mga requirements. You should have at least this much in experience, education.
Well, Mr. President, Your Honor, the hindi po nagkukulang ang PNP pag bigay ng mga requirements. Talagang masteral degree holder ka pa. Kumpleto yan, ang requirements ng PNP. Pero mapapasukan at mapapusukan talaga na politika, Mr. President, Your Honor, dahil nga, sabi ng Krami, itong tatlo lang ang qualified. Ibigay ang pangalan na yan, tatlo, sa gobernador para pagpilian. Dahil itong tatlo na ito meets the criteria to become provincial director. At saka may record ito. Pagdating sa gobernador ngayon, nakita ng gobernador, wala akong kilala dito. At ang gusto ko yung kilala ko, itong si Kuan. Natawag yung gobernador kay Chief PNP. Chief, pwede ba tanggalin mo yung pangalan nitong isa, ilagay mo yung pangalan nitong bata ko dahil kilala ko ito, mas komportable ako dito kasi hawak ko itong tao na ito. Pwede mo idagdag ito. Ang Chief PNP naman, pagbigyan yung gobernador, ilagay, so yun ang mapapili. So, nawawala pa rin yung professionalism talaga, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Well, my only apprehension here is the fact that it concentrates the power too much on the PNP chief. On the other hand, I don't believe that there should really be an influence in an area controlled by, let's say, this local government for them to have the prerogative to influence law enforcement, because I feel that that provides checks and balances. So I hope as we delve further and study this bill, ma-retain pa rin na PNP chief ang mag-a-appoint or an independent body, but definitely sana wag na munang merong influence ng local government. Yun yung sa akin. Pero syempre, never ako nag-local government. So, I'm just speaking from my observation. So, moving on, maybe we can, hindi pa naman to period of amendment, di ba?
Yes,
So, we
Mr.
can
President.
study this. Next is, nakalagay dito, the PNP Academy cadets are appointed by the PNP chief in a temporary status, renewable yearly until graduation or separation. So, yung cadets, anong ibig sabihin nito? Nag-aaral pa sila?
Yes, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Pero habang nag-aaral pa sila, they're entitled to salaries of the rank of Police Executive Master Sergeant.
Yes, Mr. President.
Paano ngayon? Nag-aaral sila. They have the requirements in the as a cadet. How are they able to dispense their duties as a regular
If I may add,
Yes.
sponsor, they're just patterning it to the PMA.
PMA.
The PMA, once you're recruited to the PMA, they have that salary as well. They're considered already soldiers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you for the
Simple
clarification.
explanation.
It's in consonance with the view being espoused by Senator Alan Cayetano a while ago, Mr. President, na itaas natin yung itaas natin yung term na yun, status ng mga pulis. Lalong-lalo na itong mga kadete na magiging opisyal, itaas natin. Kasi right now, napakahirap po magkadete nga, kuwan lang, parang job order lang. Kawawa.
Sweldo.
Walang ang sweldo na, job order at
So, Mr. President, during the committee hearing, the DBM requested that PNP submit their estimated budget for this reorganization. Kung gagawin nga natin Master Sergeant level, ang mga PNP cadets, etc., plus the reorganization itself, how much are we going to spend for this?
Very negligible, Mr. President, Your Honor, dahil nga yung kadete ng PNP ay numbering to only ilan? Around 1,000 cadets lang, Mr. President, Your Honor. So very negligible. Around 1,000 lang. So medyo may mag-mark up lang kunti yung kanilang sweldo. Pero very negligible. 1,000 cadets only.
Okay. Well, I understand this is also to encourage more to join the cadet. But maybe at a later time, we will ask for not just how much it would cost to increase the payment of our cadets, but the total cost of this reorganization. So,
Well, actually, zero cost, Mr. President, Your Honor, because existing na ito ngayon. As we speak, existing na itong reorganization na ito, yung area police commands, yung mga national support units, existing na yan sila. Ang atin lang ngayon ay para ma-institutionalize yung kanilang existence via legislation, kaya ginagawa natin itong mission na ito, Madam President, Your Honor.
okay. This is my last question. The PNP personnel under investigation or charged with a crime or grave administrative case shall be confined or arrested as may be required and will be restricted to their barracks or any designated facility. So my question is, under investigation pa lang, pwede na silang i-confine sa barracks?
Yes, Mr. President, Your Honor, kasi nakita natin problema dyan, kaya yung police minsan naging abusado. Because nga, ang power ng Chief PNP or the lower subordinate commanders ay hanggang kuwan lang sila, hanggang restricted inside camp ang kanilang magagawa. Walang confinement. So, parang walang takot yung mga pulis.
No, I believe that the law enforcement as well as people in public service should really adhere to a higher standard. My only question is, if they're confined in the barracks and they're still under investigation, is there a time frame for the investigation to be concluded? Kasi baka mamaya taon na hindi pa tapos yung investigasyon, naka-confine sila sa barracks.
Well, it's graduated, Mr. President, Your Honor. For the Chief PNP, he can confine that hearing personnel to not more than 90 days.
Okay.
For the Regional Director, not more than 60 days. For the Chief of Police, for the Provincial Director, not more than... It's graduated, Mr. President.
Okay. No, that's all. I just needed to know that there is actually a time frame for the investigation to be concluded.
Yes.
So that's all. But Mr. President, I'd like to study more the fact that it was mentioned and supported by the sponsor that hopefully the PNP will be less politicized, and one way of achieving that is also to take away from the hands of the local government or officials the power to choose who will be appointed. But I don't know if it will hurdle the body. So that's all, Mr. President. Thank you to our good sponsor.